The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. The American League West race has gotten tighter than a Dan Rather pun, and this weekend the California Angels visit the Chicago White Sox for a 4-game set. After a convincing win Thursday, the Angels and White Sox won on Friday night, starting in the first with a Brian Downing solo shot to extend his hitting streak to 10 games. He's got 12 on the year, but back came the White Sox in the second. Rudy Law single to score Jim Morrison to tie it, and then in the fourth, Law hit a sac fly to make it 2-1 Chicago. Then the White Sox, they had tied the division back up again. Harold Baines with a sac fly in the fifth made it 3-1. Then Jim Morrison hit a liner, scoring one to make it 4-1. But those pesky Angels sent 9 to the plate in the sixth and scored 5 times. Highlighted by Fred Lynn to walk to score Brian Downing. Then Doug DeCense's big double tied the game at 4. Then Tim Foley with a 2-run single made it 6-4 California. Brian Downing in the second homer of the game. A solo shot in the ninth to make it 7-4 California. The Angels have a 2-game lead in the American League West as they go out in today on Major League Baseball lunchtime replay. Retro Sports Network presents from Comiskey Park in Chicago the California Angels and the Chicago White Sox. And Forsch against Bob Forsch against Steve Trout. On a 67-degree day in the South Side. Come on, you can do this.
Play ball!
Why, hi everybody, I'm Ron Juckett, and glad to have you along of, I think, our first actual game at Comiskey Park this year, as these California Angels and Chicago White Sox now battle in earnest for the American League West crown. And don't forget, the Kansas City Royals just kind of lurk behind. We'll start with the standings in a minute. We think everyone has watched so far. They play the next 2 weekends, and we'll have next Saturday's game, next Thursday as a matter of fact, between these two teams, as they play in sunny California. The Angels are 37-21. If this is game number 60 for them, the White Sox are 34-22. And you get to see Steve Trout, who was 2-3 on the year against Ken Forsch. So we got an exciting one for you here. Glad to have you along. Let's get to the field on a 67-degree beautiful day. The wind blowing in from left at 8 miles an hour. That's not what I want to do. Here. Let's try that again. And here you go. Here's the story since we've seen you in the last couple days. Philadelphia has made inroads against Montreal. That now is a 3-game race in the National League East. The Phillies are 8-2 in their last 10. Montreal is 4-6. You'll see Montreal and the Cubs next Tuesday afternoon right here on Retro Sports Network from Wrigley Field. The Cubs are hanging in at 32-26. The West, well, you know, we've said this one's pretty much over. Atlanta and San Francisco and Cincinnati are all within 2 games of each other, but Atlanta trails the Dodgers by 8. And you have a hard time seeing unless the Dodgers choke that's going to become a race. In the American League East, Detroit took advantage of Baltimore and Milwaukee beating the snots out of each other. Detroit leads by 1. They won Friday night. They've only won 3 out of the last 10, though. But it's a 1-game lead over Baltimore and a 3-game lead over Milwaukee. Don't count out Toronto. You'll see them next Wednesday night against the Angels from Anaheim. And of course, in the West, Kansas City may be fading a bit, but California and Chicago are not. The Angels have won 3 straight. The White Sox have lost their last 2, but still 8 out of 10. The American League races and maybe the National League East are the races to watch. If you're wondering about the Cardinals, they're 7.5 back. Stratomac, Delaware, how are you? Johnny B. Crazy, good to have you along. And I'm doing just fine, thank you. So as we get started here, Steve Trout has the fortune of trying to stop the White Sox 2-game losing streak on the year. He is 2-3 with a 3.60 ERA. This is start number 12 for him. He's thrown 65 innings, 63 hits. In his last start, well, that might have been a relief appearance. He does have one. He threw 2/3 of an inning against Oakland and allowed a walk and a hit. But against the Royals on June 2nd, so he hasn't started in 10 days, he went 5 2/3 innings, allowed 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 2. So 65 innings, 63 hits, just 1 home run, 34 runs, 26 earned. He walked 29. And struck out 31. And this is a lineup he'll face for California. Brian Downing, who's got a 10-game hitting streak, will lead us off and play left field. Rod Carew will play first and bat second. Bobby Grits, the second baseman, will be third. Don Baylor, the DH, cleans up. Doug Sensei is at third and will bat fifth. Juan Benitez is in right, so no Reggie today. He'll hit sixth. Clark is in center. Will bat seventh. Tim Foley, the shortstop. And Bob Boone, the catcher, will bat ninth. Bobby Carmelano, how are ya? Hear this out as well. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for the compliments. Bobby, good to have you along. Let me see. So Steve Kemp is a 6-2 in left. I think that was the point I was trying to make. Rudy Law is a 6-3 in center. Rudy, by the way, is featured in my good buddy Andrew Martin's book, his interviews from his blog. So check that out look up A. Martin on Amazon or Andrew Martin at Goodreads. Harold Baines is a 7 and 8 in right. Jim Morrison, make your doors shows now, is a 3 at third. Billy Allman is a 7 at short. Tony Bernazard, who loves this replay, is a 6 at second. Tom Pachork's a 5 at first. And again, day game after a night game. Carlton Fisk doesn't like NBC, I guess. But he didn't play in this one. He's a 2 and a 7. So Brian Downing, 260, 13 homers, and 28 RBI. Is ready, so is Steve Trout. And we're ready to rock and roll. And Downing, ground ball to Morris. And over to Pachork, 1 out. Stratomatic Delaware making a nice appearance at lunchtime. He and ID Jester. I'm not sure whose channel it's going to be on, but they're going to play a round of golf from Augusta National tonight at 8 o'clock. And so they will do it. And I don't know which golfers they're going to pick, but look for that tonight at 8 o'clock on one of their channels. How you doing, Bobby? Rod Carew's at the plate. Rod's at 346, 2 homers, and 21 RBI. Trout got the Downing on one pitch. Pitch to Carew. Ball 4. ID's to 9 at 8. Do you know who you two are using yet? Rich, by the way, at 244. 8 homers and 30 RBI. So Carew leads off first. 7-game hitting streak for Gritch. Trout from the belt. Ball 4. It's not what they need. So Carew goes to second. Gritch on first. A single would score Carew, and that'll bring up Don Baylor. 257. 12 homers and 36 RBI. How you doing, Robbie? Robbie's starting a dead ball replay using PC Replay on his channel. Go check that out. Did I tell you about Baylor? I think I did. 257, 12 homers, and 36 RBI, in case I didn't. Pitch from Trout. There's a little liner in the left center field. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Carew will score. Gritch will round third. Rudy Law's going to fire at home. Allman cuts it off the throw, and Gritch is in there. So that's a double for Baylor, and 2 runs will score. And so the Angels, who have taken the first 2 games of the series, draw first blood here this afternoon. 2-1 the score. And that will bring up Doug DeCinces, who's got an 8-game hitting streak. You're noticing a pattern here for California. They are getting hot again at the right time, this 12th day of June, 1982. DeCinces at 311, 11 homers, and 31 RBI. I think he's going to go with Mickelson. Ah, okay. He beat me with York at Pebble Beach in the test last night by 2 strokes. Any other details you care to share, such as what ports and all that, or? Pitch to DeCinces is a little looper in the left center. That's going to drop. Baylor rounds third and scores without a throw, and DeCinces has a single. And Trout has already hung out to dry. 3-0 Angels with 1 out here in the first. And that brings up Juan Benitez at 265 and an RBI. Pitch from Trout, ball 4. So Trout has walked 3 and given up 2 hits. This is not what he wants. Bobby Clark at 320, a homer, and well, it was a solo shot because it was his only RBI. Trout delivers, and there's a base hit left side. DeCinces will hold at third, and the Angels have him loaded with 1 out. Again for Tim Foley at 301, a homer and 24 RBI, and Tony La Russa sitting there in the White Sox dugout just looking over quite forlorn. Did I miss it? No. So they're juiced for Foley. Here's the pitch. Little number down to Morrison. They're going to go for 2. Bernazard for 1 and Pachorik for 2, I think. And that will retire the side. Clark took Bernazard out, but Tony's just excellent, and that will take care of the inning. We play 1/2 of 1 inning. California, 3 runs on 3 hits. They leave 2. We go to the bottom of the first as Ken Forge takes his warm-up tosses. 3-0 California. So here is the lineup now that needs to come back from 3 down. Rudy Lahm will lead off and play center. Tony Bernazard, who just kills in this when he's on TV or on the internet, will bat second and play second. Steve Kemp will hit third. Greg Luzinski, your DH, will clean up. Tom Pachorik will bat 5th. The Hall of Famer Harold Baines will bat 6th. Mark Hill will bat 7th. Apparently Tony La Russa's analytics were messed up that day. Jim Morrison will bat 8th, and Billy Ullman will hit 9th, and Trout threw 30 pitches in the first. The defense around Forge. Brian Downing is 6-3 in left. Bobby Clark is a 2-5, and center Juan Benitez is a 2-5 in right. As you see a shot of Reggie in the dugout eating some sunflower seeds, loving life. Doug DeCinces is at 9 at third. Foley is 6 at short. Bobby Grich is 7 at second. Carew, a good first baseman. And Bob Boone behind the plate. He's a 10 and a 9. And Ken Forge is 6-4 on the year with a 3.24 ERA. In 100 innings, he's allowed 94 hits. This is shark number 14 for him. He has 6 complete games. His last start, in fact, he's thrown 2 complete games in a row. His last start against the Red Sox was a 4-hit shutout. He walked 3 and struck out 4. So on the year, 100 innings, 94 hits, 11 home runs, 39 allowed runs, 36 were earned. He has walked 38, struck out 29. So if you can be patient, you can do damage to Forge. He throws a fastball that tops out at the beautiful speed of 82 miles an hour. So Rudy Law, 233, no homers and 6 RBI. The infield playing back. So Law will drop one down foul. And it goes to 0-2. Cruz is 7 at first, by the way. So it's 0-2. Forge's pitch. And Law stings that one foul down the right field line. So he's going to make Forge work some more. Third chance here, Law. A little liner to DeCinces at third. He leaps and makes a fantastic catch. So 1 out for Tony Bernazard at 258. 4 homers and 25 RBI. Forge pitch from Forge. There's a ground ball to Grich. Long throw over to Carew. Grich had to pick it up on a weird hop and it threw Carew off the bag. So Bernazard reaches on an air. And now bring up the erstwhile Steve Kemp at 279, 7 homers and 26 RBI. Luzinski on deck, 1 out. And the Angels sitting on a 3-0 lead. Pitch from Force. Ground ball to the Sensei, might be 2. To Gritch for 1, over to Carew. And Force gets the pitcher's best friend. Hello, everybody, for now. Oh, no, sorry, it's a double play. No runs, no hits, 1 error. We played 1. It's California 3, Chicago nothing. Bobby, we all think we're on camera, but that's just not true. Bob Boone at 233, a homer and 16 RBI. Seem to hear all with that there. So Trout now hopes to settle down. He faced 8 batters in the first and 3 scored. Pitch from Steve, and there's a fly ball to left. Kemp will watch it go foul. Someone from Gary, Indiana, not my home sweet home, gets the souvenir. 2-2 the count. Trout's pitch, got him. He lifted strike 3, and there's 1 away. And that brings up Brian Downing again, who reached on, well, he grounded to third. Sitting here with a 10-game hitting streak. So through 9 batters, Steve Trout an inning and a third, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He has walked 3 and struck out 1. So if your favorite number is 3, Steve Trout is helping you today. And this time, Downing pops it up. Hill takes off the mask, goes to the screen behind the plate. Nope. The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes to Brian. Trout. Fly ball to center. Law goes back and makes the catch. 2 out. This is a humongous ballpark. It takes forever to get one out of here. And with the wind blowing in at 8 miles an hour from left field, it's going to make it even harder. 67 degrees. A cool day for Chicago here in the middle of June. Rod Carew walked and scored his first time up. Trout's pitch, and Carew hits a laser into right field that will drop in front of Baines, and there's a 2-out single. So Bobby Gritch, who walked and scored in the first. How you doing, Dale? Good to have you along. 3-0 Angels. Gritch snap throw to first, and Crew's back. I told you Bobby walked and scored his first time up. Trout's pitch. There goes Carew. The throw down to Bernazar is not in time. Carew with a head for a slide. Those are always dangerous. He gets his 6th. He only had a 37% chance of doing it, but he did. So runner in scoring position, a ball and a strike to count to Gritch. Trout's pitch. Got him. He swung on and missed on a 1-2 fastball, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Inning and a half of the books here at Comiskey Park, California 3, Chicago nothing. Baseball Demos is here. How are you, my friend? I'll bring up Greg Luzinski, Tom Paciorek, and a sneeze. And no, I did not call Harold Baines a sneeze. And by the time I found the mute button, it wouldn't have worked. So Luzinski's at 308, 5 homers and 33 RBI. A dramatic pause for you. Force is ready, and so is Luzinski. Here's the pitch. The bull hits one down the line and left. It's going to hit the wall, and even with his speed, he's got a stand-up double. So Downing just had to wait for that to carry him off that high 10-foot wall out there. And Luzinski leads off the inning with the first hit of the game for the White Sox and a double. And that brings up Tom Paciorek at 347. Already 10 homers and 38 RBI. The weekend is indeed getting closer. Johnny, we don't like you because you're a Braves fan. Atlanta, by the way, is 8 games behind Los Angeles, if you're wondering, in this age of replay. Paciorek's ready, and Force delivers. And there's a ground ball to Foley. Luzinski will hold for Carew 1 out. But glad that you're able to take in part of this weekend. And don't forget, Wednesdays is normally our prime time game at 7 o'clock. So I think if I remember this correctly, Montreal and the Cubs on Tuesday, Toronto and California Wednesday night, and then Chicago at California on Thursday. That's the baseball schedule. Would you believe we're already up to Father's Day next week? Harold Baines is at 229, 9 homers and 35 RBI. 1 out. Bottom of the second, Luzinski on second. Pitch to Baines is a little number down to Carew. He takes it to the bag himself. Luzinski moves to third, and there's 2 out for Mark Hill. He's at 214, a homer and 3 RBI. Mark looking rather puzzled in his baseball card. Really? We got to take another picture? Luzinski should be a Philly. Actually, you know, he was a big part of this run, and of course, they're running 83. Al, how you doing? You listening at work?
Can't respond because he might be found out.
Pitch to Hill. Little number foul, third base side. So the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Porsche, with Luzinski on third and 2 out, will go from the wind. And here it is. And Hill will take it on the shoulder. And so, or midsection. And so he will take first base. And then he'll bring up Jim Morris at 262. 11 home runs and 31 RBI. Morrison is actually done as of, with the White Sox, as of Monday. I don't know if he disappears to Paris or goes to another team or what. I remember him with the Pirates. I wonder if he goes there. I suppose I could look it up. So when these two teams meet in Anaheim next week, he will not be there. Pitch to Morrison, ground ball to Carew. He takes it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 2, sip of coffee time. California 3, Chicago nothing. It'll be Baylor, DeCinces, and Benitez for the Angels. So Baylor had the 2-run double in the first to make it. There's a thumbs down already. Pitch to Baylor from Trout is a fly ball to right. Baines in the corner makes the catch for the out. 1 away. Doug DeCinces is 1 for 1. He got single and drove in the other run in the first. Trout delivers, and there's a little ground ball on the grass. Pachorik to Trout for the out. So Pachorik had time perfectly. And again, it's like a lot of these infields in the 80s. On grass fields, it was pretty shag carpet-like. If they were dyed orange, Brett and Charles would be doing match game questions on it because it was plush and thick, unlike my hair. Here's Juan Benitez. He walked in the first. Steve Trout settled down. 3-0 Angels top the third. Pitch to Juan. There's a base hit left side between Allman and Morrison, and Benitez is on with a 2-out single. That brings up Bobby Clark. He has a single. Not that Bobby Clark. That one has an E and a lot less teeth. And was a genuine pain in the buttocks for most of the Eastern Conference of the National Hockey League. Trout's pitch, number to Bernazar, over to Pachorik, and that retires the side. No runs, a hit, and no errors. 2.5 in the books here at Comiskey. 3-0 California. Oh, don't worry about our baseball demos. Sports Time Machine, how you doing there, Mike? Joester's Cards and Coins joins us too. How you doing, Joester? Glad to have you along. You should. That's true. I think I got everybody, and Chris is still here. So thanks for joining. I don't worry about the thumbs down. It's the copyright strikes I worry about. So it's 69 degrees. There. Make your jokes about that. Beautiful day here in Chicago. 8 miles an hour wind in the left field as Billy Allman steps up at 250. A homer and 20 RBI. Pitch from Porsche, and Allman sends that one in the left field, and he rambles into first with a single. So Allman is a leadoff base hit for the White Sox, and that's their second hit of the game. So Forrest threw 9 batters, 42 pitches, 2 innings, 2 hits. And that's about it. Law is 0 for 1. The Ticonderoga Stooges. I love it. That's a great name. Right across the lake here, too. Pitch to Law. Throw to first, Carew there. Allman's back. Another snap throw by Bob Boone. He's got a great arm, and Allman wasn't going anywhere anyway. So ball 1 count. Pitch. Law sends that one up the middle. Allman will hold at second. He has a chance to go to third, but he will not. Who was the one that made the best play there? That should have been cut off. And with the infield back and nobody out, Tony Bernazar's going to drop one. I love the 30 seconds. So Bernazard sees the opening. Forrest delivers. Tony drops a beautiful bunt. Forrest only plays to Gridge covering. And it goes on the scorecard as a 2-4 sacrifice. So Allman to third, Law to second. Ticonderoga is actually famous for the number 2 pencils. Well, they also had a pretty big fort in the Revolutionary War. And is home to, or was at least home to, a big plant for international paper. Which is interesting because it's also in the middle of the Adirondack National Park. Kemp is 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play in the first. 2 on, 1 out. Bottom of the third, 3-0 California. Pitch to Kemp, ground ball to the Sensei. Allman is going to bolt home. The Sensei looks home, throws to first to Carew. Kemp is out, but Allman scores. Law moves to third, and it's 3-1 now. So 2 out and a runner in scoring position for Greg Luzinski, who hammered one to the wall and left in the second. For a double to lead off the inning. 3-1 now, bottom of the third. Pitch to Luzinski is a number right back to Forrest, who bobbles it. Throw to Carew. Did he find the handle in time? Oh, yeah. So Forrest kicked it, picked it back up on the grass, fired Carew, and that's the inning. A run on 2 hits and no errors. After 3, California 3, Chicago 1. How you doing, ID Jester? Take care, Johnny. Yeah, I don't do any music just for that reason. Because I don't need the copyright police here. Tim Foley grounded into a double play his first time up as Steve Trout and company start the fourth. 3-1 Angels. Pitch from Trout. It's a 0-2 pitch was catcher interference. He swung and missed, but he hit the glove of Mark Hill in the process. And Hill and LaRussa have a chat with Stevie Wonder, and everything's okay. So Foley gets first on the interference, and that'll bring up Bob Boone, who struck out his first time up. Playing a match of inside the cup. So it's Phil Mickelson against who? And where? We want specifics. Pitch to Boone is a ground ball to the middle. Bernazard to Allman for 1 over to Pachart. Moves not very fast. And Trout gets his double play. So there's 2 out. And nobody on for Brian Downing. And so for this 9 batters, Steve Trout's been very good. Through 18 overall, 68 pitches, 3 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And Downing is 0 for 2. Still sitting on. It's a surprise. Can we at least say the course? I'd love to see Mickelson versus Mickelson. So Downing still sitting on a 10-game hitting streak. Pitch from Trout is a little looper to left. Kemp is there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and 1 error. We played 3.5 at Seal, California 3, the White Sox 1. Yeah, Rainbow Trout. Don't wuss out with Tiger. It'll be Pachorik. Speaking of Wimpy, Harold Baines and Mark Hill. Pachorik is 0 for 1. Pitch to Tom, ground ball to first. Carew flips it over to Forge covering, and Tom is out. So 1 out for Harold Baines is 0 for 1. I missed the swear word. Did Bobby call somebody a naughty name? Pitch to Baines. There's a base hit opposite field left side. Downing scoops it up. Baines is on first. And 1 out for Mark Hill, who was hit by a pitch in the second inning. 3-1 Angels, bottom of the 4th. California, 4-game set here at Comiskey. Took the first 2 and then lead the American League West by 2. Snap throw to first, and Baines is back. Yeah, he was quite the joke too. Pitch to Hill, and there's a long drive to left. It is gone. Downing turned and watched it hit the foul pole, and Mark Hill has hit a 2-run homer, and the White Sox have tied this game at 4. He got one over the middle of the plate. He crushed it off the foul pole. All Downing could do was turn and watch it go, and the White Sox have tied this game at 3. And don't let those green seats up in the outfield fool you. This place is really jammed, and they're making a lot of noise now. So 1 out for Morrison, who's 0 for 1. That was big. 3-3, bottom of the 4th. Pitch from Forge, and Morrison punches one into left for a single. And so now Forge is allowed 6 hits. And here's Billy Allman. He singled and scored in the 3rd. Forge delivers, struck him out. He got him on a 1-2 for Forge. That's a fastball at 82. So 2 out. And so through 18 batters, Forge has gotten bad. 3 2/3 innings, 72 pitches, 6 hits, 3 runs all earned. The homer you just saw by Hill, and 1 strikeout. Law is 1 for 2. He's got a single. Take care, RDJ. Thanks for coming in. He did. That's exactly why he did baseball demos. All right, Mike, thanks for watching too. But yeah, Pachorik liked his cheeseburgers, and that's why he was called Wimpy. Pitch to Law. There's a ground ball. Force. Only throw was to Carew. And that's the side, but not before the White Sox get 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. After 4, we're knotted up. California 3, Chicago 3. You can get cheeseburgers delivered, Bobby. Rod Carew, Bobby Grich, and Don Baylor here in the 5th. Carew singled and walked. He also stole the base and scored. Trout's pitch. Ground ball. Bernazard by the bag at second. Snap throw to Pachorik to get him. What a stop by Bernazard. He robbed Carew of a hit. The rob was robbed. And here's Bobby Grich. He's 0 for 1. He has walked and struck out. 3-3. 1 out, top of the 5th. Pitch to Bobby, and there's a fly ball to left. Kemp goes in the corner. He's got it. 2 out. You don't like hamburgers. You want breakfast. Denny's delivers up here, by the way. I'm not sure how much of a breakfast that is, but here's Don Baylor. Don is 1 for 2. He hit doubled score, drove in 2. He's got 38 on the year. This is game number 59 for the Angels. And 57, get your ketchup ready for the White Sox. 2 out, nobody on. Stops pitch, and there's a grounder to Bernazard over to Pachorik, and they got a 3 inning. And McDonald's is partner with Uber Eats. And so halfway home here, it's California 3, Chicago 3. It'll be Bernazard, Kemp, and Luzinski to face Forge here in the 5th. Today is Pi Day, by the way. March 14th, because Uncle Ron knows his calendar. So make your 3.14 jokes or tell us your favorite pie. I'm a big fan of apple myself. Bernazard's 0 for 1, lines this one to right. Beniquez is there, 1 out. Pete Kemp, 0 for 2, RBI, and grounded into a double play. 3 runs, 5 hits, an error for the Angels. They've stranded 4. For Chicago, 3 runs, 6 hits, an error, and they've stranded 4. Pitch from Forge is a liner to Gritch, 2 out. So Greg Blazinski, the batter. Greg is 1 for 2. He had that double in the second. Pitch. A ground ball to Foley over to Carew, and now we've sailed into the pitcher's duel part of the game. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5, it is California 3, Chicago 3. Now Dale likes cherry pie. And no, Bobby, those places, that's all about my computer. Tomorrow is the Ides of March. And Mr. Mike likes himself some Felix Pi. It's not pronounced pie. But the Sensei is not pronounced Vicentes either. He's 1 for 2. He's got a single and an RBI. That came in the first. And he chops this one up the middle past Bernazard, and the Angels are in business here to start the 6th. So now that's symmetry for you. Everyone at 3, 6, and 1. Juan Benitez has walked and singled. Keyline pie. PA. That sounds like something I gotta do after the game. Homemade keyline pie, of course. Pitch from Trout. Beniquez in the right. Baines, 1 out. Right? Yeah, 1 out. Bobby Clark, 1 for 2. With a single. The Sensei on first. Trout, you thought he was going to pitch into the 6th after that first inning. Make sure that's coffee in your glass and not anything else. Pitch from Trout. Fly ball shallow center. Law comes in. Makes the catch. 2 away. And now I'll bring up Tim Foley, who was 0 for 1, and he grounded with a... And he reached first on a catcher's interference in the 4th. Out delivers, and that's going to get past Bernazard. That's a base hit. The Sensei goes to 3rd. Law throws it back in. The Angels have runners in the corners. 2 out for Bob Boone, who was struck out and grounded into a butterfly pie. That would be Paul McCartney, not the Beatles. But a butter pie, yeah. He was solo for that. Butter pie sounds so good, doesn't it? Using number 17,597, I became a diabetic at 30. Hill goes out to chat with Trout. And here's the pitch to Boone. Sharp grounder on the ground. Allman in the grass. Cuts it off, throws it over to Pachorik, and they got him. So the Angels go down. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 5.5 in the books. It's still the Angels 3, the White Sox 3. You're like Snoopy, you should be the shortstop. If Woodstock the Bird could play, Bobby, you could play. Tom Pachorik is 0 for 2. He'll be followed by Baines and Hill, who had the big home run in the 4th. Forster's pitch, and there's a sharp hit ball to Foley. Over to Carew, 1 out. Harold Baines, the batter. Haynes is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. Scored on that home run in the 4th. Forge hanging in there. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the Sensei at 3rd. Over to Carew, 2 out. So Forge has found his groove. And then I'll bring up Montiel. 2-run shot in the 4th. Tied this game at 3. Forge is cruising on 100 pitches almost. Here we go. Fly ball shallow left. Downing comes in to make the catch. And so the Chi Sox go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, it's California 3, Chicago 3. That's right. I'm 2000 Pedro Martinez reincarnated. Old Joe Schlocknick. You never read Peanuts? That was a baseball card that Charlie Brown won. There's a great one of those. When Charlie goes out and buys 100 penny packs, which has one card in them apiece, and he can't get it, and then Lucy picks up one just to be Lucy. There's a swear word for you. Don't be a Lucy. And she got the card and threw it away. The one that he always wanted. Imagine if she treated the little redhead girl that way. So Trout for 27 batters has thrown 104 pitches, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. I think it is 3 runs all earned. Downing is 0 for 3. He's still looking to get his 10-game hitting streak extended. Pitch from Trout. There's a slow ground ball to short. Flips up to Trout for the out. Rod Carew is 1 for 2. He has walked, scored, stolen a base. Trout at 108 pitches, so it really is coming down to next base runner is it for Steve. Carew slaps that one into center field, and that's a base hit. So we'll see what they do with Trout. Bobby Grich is 0 for 2. He has walked, scored, and struck out. And so now they'll let him pitch to Grich. But now we're on tenterhooks. And yeah, that sounds like everyone's childhood nightmare. Pitch from Trout. Ball 4, and that'll do it for Steve. So Carew on second, Grich on first. Journeyman baseball here as we take a pitching change. This game is coming to you from Comiskey Park in Chicago. Excuse me. So Jerry Koosman comes in. He's not supposed to start for another month. He's 3-2 on a year with a 3.56 ERA. In 43 innings, he's allowed 47 hits. This is his, believe it or not, his 16th appearance and his 14th time out of the pen. He will be a starter down the stretch. He threw 1 inning against the Angels Thursday night, and it was clean. So he's given up 19 runs, 17 earned, walked 14, and struck out 19. He comes in with 1 out here in the top of the 7th, with runners on first and second for Don Baylor, who had a 2-run double in the first. 1 for 3. Koosman delivers, and that's a right back to Jerry. Goes to third for 1. Do they get it at first? No. But Koosman on the first pitch was smart. He got the fast runner Carew, and Morrison was there. So Baylor reaches on the fielder's choice 1-5 if you're scoring at home, and by God, why would you? DeCinces is up. Doug is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and driven in a run. 2 out. Still, runner in scoring position, and Grich and Baylor on first. Koosman delivers. Ground ball to Pachorik. Takes to the bag at first himself, and the White Sox get out of it. Stretch time here at Comiskey. It's California 3, Chicago 3. And I'm not singing. Jim Morrison, he could sing, will lead us off here in the bottom of the 7th. Playing his favorite song, Chicago Woman and Riders of the Storm. Jim is 1 for 2. Porsche will start the bottom of the 7th. He's only at 98 pitches. I bet he can get through this. Switchy is someone that can go left-handed and right-handed. Morrison pounds this one to DeCinces at third, over to Carew, and there's 1 away. So the book on Trout is done. 6 of the 3rd innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He did not give up a home run. He walked 4, struck out 2. Never mind the game score, but considering all things considered, he's going to get out of here with no decision while pitching in the 7th. Billy Alden's 1 for 2. He has scored, struck out, and singled. Pitch from Force. Fly ball to shallow right. Benitez, 2 out. Yeah, Bobby, you do have talent. Here's Rudy Law. He's 1 for 3 with a single. So Force through 27 batters, 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 105 pitches. The home run to Hill. No walks and 1 strikeout. 2 out here in the 7th. Laws chops that one up the middle for a base hit, and the White Sox have the go-ahead run on. He's going to look at second. La Russa says, big boy. You got speed, but I got Tony Bernazon, who was 0 for 2. Bernazon lined to right, grounded to second, and reach on an error, and then was a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. Swinging all the way here with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Got him! He swung on and missed at a 75-mile-an-hour curve, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. It's reaching cardiac time here, boys and girls. After 7, Angels 3, White Sox 3. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Chris. Really appreciate it. 8 o'clock tonight. It's Golf with the Masters. Stratomatic, Delaware, and ID Jester on ID's channel at 8 o'clock. I was about to say right here on Rental Sports Network, but that's just not going to work. Because it's not. On ID Jester's channel, Juan Benitez is 1 for 2. He has singled and walked. Jerry Kuzman, this is his game, I would think. 3-3, top of the 8th. Let's hope so. We got 2 innings to get there. Pitch to Benitez as a pop-up left side. Morrison goes into the seats. And someone from Joliet brings home a souvenir. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kuzman delivers. Ground ball in the grass. Pachorik hits it on the dirt. Flips quickly to Kuzman. And Benitez is out. That was close. Juan's got wheels, but Pachorik threw a good little underhand flipper to Jerry for the first out. Bobby Clark is 1 for 3. Double plays or double eye pokes in the hike on the road. The sweetest means ow, 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 oh. And Freddie Lynn's going to pinch hit, which is the right call for California. So in this 3-3 tie, here comes Freddie Lynn at 312 on the year. 6 homers and 18 RBI. And if a curious student of baseball history, some of my plans about to renew on my phone, will remember that Freddie Lynn in this very ballpark hit the first Grand Slam in All-Star history in 1983. The White Sox do not want him to get on this time. Kuzman delivers, and there's a high fly ball to right. Baines is there, 2 out. Brings up Tim Foley, who's 1 for 2. He singled and grounded into a double play. 81C. 83 All-Star game, yeah. So Foley is 1 for 2. Singled and grounded into a double play. Temperature now is 72. You just can't ask for a better day. And the wind has calmed down too. 2 miles an hour left to right. Kuzman's pitch, and Foley lashes that one right to Baines in right field. That was a frozen rope that Baines scooped like one of those old track balls. 7.5 in the books. California and Chicago 3-3. Oh, okay. And Sports Time Machine is right. It came off of Atley Hamilton. I was excited for him. Here's Steve Kemp. He's 0 for 3. He's grounded into a double play and driven in a run. Luzinski and Pachorik to follow. Bradley Haymaker. I bet he threw a few of those. Bottom of the 8th, 3-3 the score. Force still in the ball game, and Kemp greets him with a base hit in the left center field. Kemp will hold, and that'll do it. Angel Moreno comes in for Force. We got a pitching change. This game is coming to you from Comiskey Park in Chicago. Moreno, the lefty, is 0-4 on the year with 1 save and a 5.21 ERA. He normally was a starter And take a look at those dates. He's done with the Angels in 13 days. So he now comes in as a 10, and he threw last night. He got one out and allowed one hit to pick up the save, and the Angels win. So 48 innings in the third inning, 65 hits, 7 homers, 35 runs, 28 earned. He walked 22 and struck out 16. And presuming the Angels win this division, bullpen is something the League do not have. So Kemp on first, Luzinski 1 for 3, doubled in the second. Is up. Moreno delivers, ball 4. So the go-ahead run is on second. Luzinski on first, nobody out for Tom Paciorek, who is 0 for 3. That's right. Broke my heart every summer. So Paciorek is ready. Kemp leads off second. Luzinski off first. Moreno delivers, and there's a little looper in the left. Downing has got it. Kemp will hold at second. Downing's arm is a ramen noodle, but you're not taking that chance. Here's Harold Baines. He's 1 for 3. He singled and scored on the Hill home run before. Yeah, imagine that. All those ballpark bounces, you could get something out of it. Good idea. Section 81C is a VIP section. So Kemp on second. Baines flies this one to left. Downing has it lined up, and there's 2 out. And again, they dare Kemp to run. And just like Jack Kemp in 88, he just said no. Mark Hill is 1 for 2 in that big 2-run homer in the fourth that tied this game. And so Moreno pitching well. 2/3 of an inning, and he's almost out of it. Here's the pitch. Hill swung on and missed. He chased one out of the zone, and that's the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the 9th. It's California 3, Chicago 3. So 3 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Angels. They've stranded 8. The White Sox, 3 runs, 8 hits, and an error, and they have left 7 on. Boone, Downing, and Carew in for the Angels here in the 9th. And so the number's on 4. 7 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs all earned, a home run to Mark Hill, and 2 strikeouts. So the starters' days are done. And Angel Moreno and Jerry Koosman are your pitchers of record. Boone struck out and grounded out twice. Koosman's pitch right back to Jerry, over to Paciorek, 1 out. Now bring up Ryan Downing. Downing is 0 for 4. He gets 1 more chance to extend a hitting streak past 10 games. Did it last night with 2 home runs. Looks to Koosman. Fly ball to left. Kemp in the corner. 2 out. So we really are reaching cardiac time again. Here's Ron Carew. He is 2 for 3. He has singled twice, walked, stolen the base, and scored. How you doing, Dave Gardner? You joined us just in time. Koosman's pitch. Ground ball to Bernazard. Over to Paciorek. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors. The White Sox can walk this one off. California 3, Chicago 3. Morrison, Allman, and Rudy Law here in the bottom of the 9th. Morrison 1 for 3. Moreno is ready. And here's the pitch. Morrison, fly ball to left. Downing will go back and watch it go. Jim Morrison rides off in a storm. Walk it off. You just beat the California Angels 4-3. How about that? A leadoff homer in the bottom of the 9th has given the White Sox some hope. They now have won the 3rd game of this 4-game set 4-3 and have cut the deficit down to 1 game. As you can hear the scoreboard explode behind you, What a fantastic game. The White Sox walk it off. 3 runs, 8 hits, an error for the Angels. They fall to 37-22. The White Sox go to 35-22. 4 runs, 9 hits, and an error. California sent 8 men to the plate. I told you the Angels' bullpen was terrible. 8 men to the plate, they only scored 3 runs. Don Baylor with a 2-run double made it 2-0. Then Doug DeCinces singled home Baylor to make it 3-0. And then Chicago got one back in the third. Steve Kemp with a ground ball to make it 3-1. Mark Hill, of all people, hit a 2-run shot in the fourth off of Kenny Force to make it 3-3. And then Jim Morrison, just mere moments ago, hits a walk-off home run to left center, and it's 4-3 Chicago. If I'm not, you can do what you want, Dave. I know where you live. I know your plumbing. So Jerry Koosman gets the win, 2 2/3 innings, and Angel Moreno picks up the loss. So Koosman goes to 4-2. Moreno falls to 5-2. Brian Downing's hit streak is snapped at 10. And our player of the game is Jim Morrison. We wish him the best of luck wherever he goes. This is his last week with the White Sox. He goes 2 for 4 today with a big home run. And I'll show you on camera the rest of the day because there are no more surprises. My pleasure, Bobby. All right, other scores. Oakland beat Toronto 7-6. Mark Langford goes to 9-2. Davey Lopes with the 7th home run of the year. Cleveland beat Boston 5-3. John Denny goes to 4-4. Montreal beat Chicago 7-5. Woody Fryman picks up his 3rd win. Warren Cromartie with his 5th home run. Atlanta beats San Francisco 3-1. Phil Niekro goes to 3-4. Glenn Mother Hubbard, his 6th RBI. Dave Kingman hits 2 home runs as the Mets beat the Cardinals 6-4. Pittsburgh shuts out Philadelphia 2-0. Manny Sarmiento goes to 4-1. Yankees beat Baltimore 10-2. Ken Griffey is 4th of the year. Seattle beat Kansas City 6-5 and 10. Jamie Quirk 2 home runs, his first 2 of the year. Texas downs Minnesota 4-2. Rick Honeycutt gets the win. Detroit shuts out Milwaukee. That's big, 3-0. Milt Wilcox goes to 5-4. Houston pounds San Diego 10-1. And the Reds beat the Dodgers 3-2. So the Dodgers lead Atlanta by 7. Montreal leads Philly by 4. California back in first by a game, and Detroit's lead in the East over Baltimore is 2. So, Toronto at California is the Tuesday afternoon game. Wednesday night, Chicago at California, and then Thursday afternoon, Montreal at Chicago. So it's a full weekend of Chicago baseball coming up for you next week. All right, so don't forget, ID Jester and Stratomatic Delaware's match play is tonight at 8 o'clock on ID's channel. We'll have football for you tomorrow at some point, tomorrow night, I think, as the Patriots Challenge begins. Hit that like and subscribe, or don't. You'll want to later. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow.